Season finale Sunday on Fox.
Tonight, get ready for the warmest weather of the year. Your First Live local weather team prepares you for a weekend in the sun. Her classmates will be receiving their diplomas. So why is a high school making this straight-A student sit on the sidelines? A small business becomes the victim of a big crime. Cops have 2 of their suspects, but one is still on the run. How you can help catch Fox 12's Most Wanted. But first, a horrifying scene. A pickup truck barrels down an embankment.
It's difficult to see her gone.
One of the teens is dead. The other is in a hospital room. What the victim's classmates are saying about their friends, only on 12 and first on Fox.
And good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Wayne Garcia.
And I'm Shauna Parsons. First on Fox tonight, even seatbelts couldn't protect 2 teenage girls as their truck barreled over an embankment. Multnomah County deputies say the teen driver lost control of her truck on Stark Street near Curse Lake Road near Troutdale. She died, and tonight her passenger's in the hospital in critical condition. KPTV Sophie Song is live at Emmanuel Hospital in North Portland with more. Sophie?
We know the name of the driver, who was a cheerleader at Reynolds High School, but out of respect for the family, we are not releasing her name tonight. Now, she died at the scene. Lifelike took the passenger here to Legacy Emmanuel Hospital. Tonight, she remains in critical condition.
It's difficult to see her gone.
A life cut too short. Tonight, friends of the 16-year-old driver who died in a car accident in Troutdale say they'll miss the young, vibrant, outgoing girl who they say always had a happy spirit.
She was just a very bright, easygoing, amazing person.
Multnomah County Sheriff's deputies say the teen was driving on Stark Street just after noon today when she crossed over the center line and drove over an embankment near the Sandy River. Friends say she was a student at the Natural Resources Academy near Corbett, which is an extension of Reynolds High School. They say she had left campus to get lunch and was heading back to school when the accident happened.
I just felt sick. I wanted to I started crying.
As my daughter found out, it was devastating to her, but to lose a child when they're still young, I can't imagine. Can't imagine what the parents are going through right now.
Sheriff's deputies say both the driver and the passenger were wearing seatbelts. Tonight, they're investigating the accident, saying that stretch of road is known to be a dangerous area with several accidents in almost the exact same place. They believe the driver may have taken the turn too quickly and say her age and inexperience may have been factors of the crash. People who knew the victim say she's always been a cautious driver. Tonight, as they pray for the full recovery of the passenger, they also mourn the loss of a classmate and a friend.
It's good to know that she's somewhere, someplace better. She's not in pain. She's not suffering. Still, you want to know why it happened, but it is what it is.
And Multnomah County Sheriff's deputies say it's a miracle that the passenger survived. Reporting live in North Portland tonight, Sophie Sung, the 10 o'clock news.
When it comes to teen drivers, there are some startling statistics. 16-year-old drivers are more likely to be involved in crashes than drivers at any other age. A 2005 survey found nearly 70% of teen drivers say they drive over the speed limit, and 64% say they speed through yellow lights. And listen to this. In 2006, 3,500 teenagers died in car crashes. But there are some things you can do to keep your teen driver safe. We have all kinds of tips on our website, kptv.com.
Now to some developing news. We are waiting to learn more about the condition of a child hit by a car during rush hour traffic. It all happened about 5:30 this evening near Southeast 118th and Holgate in Portland. Neighbors say the child was reading a newspaper when it suddenly blew away, and he chased it right into the street. Neighbors also say it's a dangerous place for kids to play outside.
There's a ton of kids. It's an extremely busy street, and it's just a big blind spot because of all the cars. There's just tons of cars parked on the street.
Medics took the child to a nearby hospital. Police say he only had minor injuries. The driver of that car is cooperating with the investigation.
A local man is going to prison for attacking his girlfriend on New Year's Day. A judge sentenced Rodolfo Hernandez Cruz to 25 years in prison. Today is conviction for his conviction on attempted murder and assault. The judge also gave him a stern lecture.
People like you don't get better very quickly, if ever.
Hernandez Cruz attacked his girlfriend outside a family gathering on New Year's morning. He was upset that she was talking to another man, so he cut and stabbed her with a pocket knife. His sentence is the maximum allowed, and the judge explained why he gave it to him.
Your cry was so awful and so vicious and so permanently damaging to an innocent woman and her children and her family that there is a great temptation to say that you ought to get just the maximum sentence that the law would allow anyone to give you.
Now, the other man Hernandez Cruz thought his girlfriend was talking to turned out to be the victim's cousin. A man will spend the rest of his life in prison for killing a police dog. Today, a judge sentenced Ronald Chenette for killing the Vancouver police canine named Dakota back in October of 2007. This is video of him during a court appearance in January. Chenette had been threatening to kill police. Dakota found him in the woods and bit him during a search, but then Chenette shot the dog. Chenette's conviction for this crime was his third strike under Washington law.
Only on 12 tonight, a blessing in disguise. That's how a former drug clerk describes her latest round of legal troubles. Emily Caton used to work in Columbia County's drug court. Deputies arrested her last fall and again in February on meth charges. Today, she spoke out in court before her sentencing. KPTV's Brent Weisberg was the only reporter who attended today's hearing and joins us live from News Control with the story. Brent.
These court documents explain the plea agreement Emily Caton reached today in court. She told the judge her time in jail has given her an opportunity to think about what she's done. Emily says she knows she's made a few mistakes, and right now she says she's in the process of turning her life around. Emily pleaded no contest to charges of conspiracy to deliver methamphetamine. Later, she pleaded guilty to charges of unlawful possession of meth. And in her final plea change, she pleaded no contest to bribery charges. Here's what Emily had to say before the judge handed down her sentence.
By being arrested the third time and spending the time in jail, I had an opportunity to think long and hard about all of the events that occurred in the previous 8 months. I wanted to be sober for a really long time, and I thank God that someone finally plucked me out of the pit I was in. I've been in residential treatment now for 60 days.
Emily could spend much of the next 2 years in prison. She will get credit for time already served and good behavior. She then has a 3 years probation ahead of her. Emily says she has taken an online class through PCC to study criminal justice. Reporting live tonight in News Control, Brent Weisberg, the 10 o'clock news.
The man accused of using a shock collar on his young children faced a judge today. Todd Markham faces 4 counts of criminal mistreatment. Salem police arrested him last week after an investigation found, they say, he put an electronic dog collar on his 4 kids, ages 3 through 9, because he thought it was funny. The children are now in the custody of their mother, and the case is being handled by the Department of Health Services. Markham is expected to enter a plea next month. A teen accused of taking a loaded gun to school appeared in court today. Battleground police say the student planned to sell it at the school, but another student tipped off police. The court lowered 2 charges to misdemeanors, but the 17-year-old still faces the charge of having a stolen firearm. Now, police say that gun was stolen about 20 years ago, so they're not sure how the teen got a hold of it.
A local organization is using rape charges against a Mexican national to rally for immigration reform. Deputies arrested Ivanovaldo Alejo Sebastian after they say he raped a woman at the Wendy's restaurant where they both worked. Oregonians for Immigration Reform organized a rally at that Milwaukee restaurant today. They say employers must be held accountable for possibly hiring illegal immigrants. The group's vice president says people also need to know about the alleged rape.
The response from the public that are aware of this has been overwhelming. I just talked to a lady in her car that had no idea. She freaked out. She has 2 little girls. She's very upset, says she'll probably never eat here again.
Well, the group says a free service online lets employees check a potential employers check an employee's status. The owner of this Wendy's says that he did take the required steps before hiring the suspect.
Well, when the sun shines around the city, it seems people just come out of the woodwork, don't they? That was the case today all around the area. People started their weekend with a walk, maybe a drink or 2 outside. We caught up with one guy who was enjoying the outdoors without all the layers.
It's good to be outside and not be bundled up in Gore-Tex like the rest of the year.
Well, if you didn't get outside today, don't worry. The weather is expected to improve this weekend. Today's nice weather was just a preview of things to come.
With the sun coming out, you can bet Portlanders are going to be heading out to local rivers and parks as well. But tonight, local river patrols do have some warnings for you. KPTV's Jamie Wilson reports now from Milwaukee.
We respond to anything that's on the water.
Marine Patrol Deputy Doug Olson knows that when the sun comes out, his calls go up. And one of the biggest dangers out here is not only the current, but the temperature of the water.
Right now, in here going slow, The water temperature is 54 degrees.
While it may be a hot summer day, Olson says the river could still be well below 60 degrees, and hypothermia can lead to drownings.
You're baking at 80 degrees, 85 degrees, and all of a sudden they jump into 50-degree water. And it's just that.
Even though there aren't any stoplights or turn signals out here, Olson warns that you still have to follow the law. Of course, drinking while driving a boat could send you to jail, but he says other common mistakes boaters make is driving too fast through a no-wake zone or around a deputy's boat while they're trying to make a stop. And you probably know that every child 12 and under must be wearing a life jacket on the river. But Olson says don't forget that the captain must have a life jacket on board for every passenger.
You are required to have a wearable life jacket for each person on board, whether you're in a small inflatable raft like this or a large boat.
Olson even wrote these guys tickets today for not having life jackets, but he thinks that river safety overall is getting better.
The word is getting out there that you have to have a life jacket, and more people are wearing them.
Jamie Wilson, the 10 o'clock news.
Time now to check in with Chief Meteorologist Mark Nelson. He's here with a look at just how frigid those river temperatures can be, Mark.
Yeah, you may remember last year we'd had a huge snowmelt in the Cascades and the rivers ran very high. It was very dangerous this time of the year. Not quite as high this year, but boy, those temperatures on the rivers are just about as cold. We got to call it dangerously cold because look at these numbers. The two big rivers, the Columbia and the Willamette River, running in the low 50s, which is about as cold as the Pacific Ocean. Then you look at these rivers that are draining snowmelt off the Cascades, the lower Sandy around Troutdale, about 45 degrees. And same thing as you look at the upper Clackamas, that's at Carter Bridge there, where a lot of rafters put in, 43 degrees there. Lower Clackamas, that's Oregon City, think High Rocks, 46 degrees. And for comparison, when I jumped in that polar bear exhibit a year and a half ago, it was New Year's Day, the water there was 48 degrees, and I only lasted a minute and I had to get out of there. And it's quite a shock when you first hit the water, as the sheriff's deputy said. So watch out, icy cold rivers for this weekend. Now, the good news is the air temperatures are going way up. Today we hit 72 degrees. I think tonight we will drop back in the 40s, but then a big warm-up coming up for tomorrow and also Sunday. And, of course, we're going to stay dry. Take a look downtown right now. You can see our Pioneer Courthouse Square camera showing dry conditions. I think there'll be a lot of people there tomorrow as the sunshine will come back. And we'll let you know how long warm weather is going to stick around in my first live local forecast.
You can find more First Live local weather coverage online at KPTV.com. Read Mark's popular weather blog and see viewer photos from all around the Northwest. You can find it all on KPTV.com.
They actually sold more than we'd even realized at that point.
Tonight, Fox 12's Most Wanted have some expensive taste. Coming up in about 5 minutes, see how a group of thieves pulled off a heist that stretched from the Portland area all the way down to Salem.
Now to news from around the Northwest. A man wanted by the FBI apparently drove off a cliff and died near Yakima. A trucker called Washington State troopers after he spotted a car off I-82. Troopers say that they found James Lowell's body inside the car the same day he was expected to be in court for sentencing. They say that accident happened between 12 hours and 2 days before his body was found. Authorities say the victim was a former mortgage broker in Hawaii who may have cheated investors out of $30 million. A school with half its students out sick is hoping to be back to normal on Monday. The school in Arlington, Washington, had 238 of its 526 students absent on Friday. The school district says many of those kids were kept home as a precaution because of a stomach flu that's spreading through the school. The district now says the outbreak has probably run its course.
Now to the economic crisis and word that the state of Oregon is strapped for cash. Tonight, Oregon faces a $3.5 billion shortfall, and the state's school districts will be some of the hardest hit. KPTV's Jim Hyde explains.
The crowd in Portland's park blocks today is worried about shortened school days, teacher layoffs, and program cuts.
He wants to be able to continue having band and music and all of his extracurricular and required things like library. We don't want to lose those things.
Much of that depends on the legislature's budget committee, which heard the revenue forecast today. About $3.5 billion short of the money necessary to maintain all present state services in the coming 2009 and 10 budget period. Lawmakers have already cut $855 million to balance the budget that ends June 30th.
It's been very interesting to see the use of furlough days in this recession.
The state's economist says the layoff strategy that industry has long used is spreading to the service sector. It included state employees told to take unpaid days off.
So I imagine that that's probably going to be a further use tool.
The share of projected state money available to schools has shrunk from $5.9 billion to $5.4 billion as the recession deepens. Beaverton schools are looking at a shortage of $26 to $50 million for the next school year, depending on the final amount sent up from the legislature. That has parents worried about programs like music and art, and new teachers concerned for their jobs.
I look at the size of the cuts that are projected, and it's just pretty scary. It's hard to get your knees met.
These music teachers from a district east of Portland say their jobs and programs are projected to be cut in the coming year. Others at this rally reminded the audience the $3.5 billion shortfall is spread over all state programs.
We need to have an honest conversation, have real decisions made about what kind of schools we want, what kind of social services, what kind of public safety programs we want.
Jim Hyde, the 10 o'clock news.
A new emergency jobs plan could put 12,000 unemployed Oregonians back to work. Oregon's governor made the announcement today. Some of the jobs offered include wetland restoration, trail construction, removing brush from fire-prone areas, and delivering food for the Oregon Food Bank. A full-time job on the plan would pay at least $336 a week. If approved by the legislature, Governor Kulongoski's plan would begin July 1st.
Well, a day after Chrysler announced the closure of several hundred dealerships nationwide, General Motors did the same thing today. The automaker sent FedEx packages to 1,100 dealerships saying their contracts will expire next year. We talked to the general manager at Car Chevrolet today. He believes that GM will never completely go away.
I think there's going to be some adjustment as we move forward in the next couple of years. But, you know, as long as there's people moving to Portland and into this area, then there's going to be people who want to drive and buy General Motors cars and all sorts of cars.
Now, dealerships can appeal the decision by GM, as some local dealerships are doing with Chrysler. In fact, a rally is going to be held tomorrow at Portland's Timberline dealerships on Northeast Sandy Boulevard. We have more information online if you'd like to attend at kptv.com.
A man making his movie debut is in a Portland hospital tonight after a pyrotechnic stunt went wrong. It happened Saturday in Scioto. A film crew was in an abandoned house shooting a scene for a movie called Remnant. The movie's producer didn't say exactly what happened, only that Joshua Frazier received third-degree burns. His hands and legs got the worst of it. Now his family and friends are just hoping for the best.
As of right now, I mean, we're hoping, keeping our fingers crossed, that, you know, he will be awake soon and we will be able to, you know, everybody will be able to take a deep breath and know that, you know, the worst is over.
A Scioto fire crew was already on the way to the house on Saturday because they were going to use it for a training lesson later that day.
Fox 12's Most Wanted hit up a Salem shop earlier this week, and tonight the store owner says the same thieves came back today to try it again. It happened at a small boutique in downtown Salem, and tonight one of those thieves is behind bars. KPTV's Andrew Padula is live in Salem now with more on the story. Andrew?
Well, Wayne, it all started on Tuesday when a worker started becoming suspicious of some customers in the store. And when it was all done, they said that they realized that these two women had started putting more than $3,000 of clothes into their bags. Now, the owner of Meringue Boutique says it was her worker who had a gut feeling something wasn't right as she helped two customers Tuesday. As soon as the two women left, the owner says they reviewed the surveillance tapes and noticed the shoplifting. She says as one of the women distracted the worker, the other was stuffing her bag with clothing.
And we're just trying to get through it, and it's really difficult when you work so hard to you know, to have a fun place, and then people like that come in and ruin it for you.
Can we take this? And what gets the owner really angry is she says the same woman showed up at her Lake Oswego store this afternoon but took off before police could catch them. She says an hour later the same women were back at the Salem store. That's when the owner noticed them and called police. Now, police did arrest one woman. They didn't have enough evidence to arrest the second one, but they are still searching for a third one, and they do say they did find some evidence that potentially were stolen merchandise from other stores in one of those women's vehicles. Now, the investigation continues. If you have any information, you're asked to call Salem Police. Reporting live from Salem tonight, Andrew Padula, the 10 o'clock news.
The 10 o'clock news is just getting started.
Difficult circumstances made even worse by a major airline.
2 days after I purchased it, his father passed away.
But Fox 12 helps a local family get their money back when the airline refused after an unexpected death. She's high school valedictorian, but she's not graduating.
It's very frustrating.
The mix-up that's keeping this teenager from getting her diploma. A tasty treat sure to keep Portland weird. This local man's creation that mixes beer with chips. And get ready for some vampire baseball in your own backyard when some of your favorite Twilight stars will be stepping up to bat at PGE Park.
And that 7-day forecast looking a bit drier now. We've got all the latest numbers coming up in just a few minutes.
You're watching the 10 o'clock news. First, live, local.
You wouldn't use a beehive as a football. You wouldn't dive into a pool without water. You wouldn't light a match if you smelled gas. So why would you do your banking anywhere besides a credit union? Credit unions are federally insured and locally owned, so their only interest is you. And opening your account has never been easier. To learn more, visit our website at u-belong.org. Credit Unions of Oregon. So smart, it's obvious.
You know, my local Oil Can Henry's is doing a lot more than changing oil. Their trained technicians are making it easy to maintain my new car warranty.
All the services at your local Oil Can Henry's meet or exceed warranty requirements. So whether it's a radiator flush or gearbox service, we save you time and money.
Why hassle with the appointments, long waits, and high prices at the dealership? You've got Oil Can Henry's, the one you can trust.
Coupons available at oilcanhenrys.com.
In tonight's Fox 12 Final Cut, a teen charged with terrorism, the internet messages that got him in big trouble. Plus, you wouldn't expect a 10-year-old girl to have this kind of trouble, her fight against breast cancer. And don't trouble yourself to get some popular gadgets just yet. The upgrades you can soon expect. Coming up later in the Final Cut.
Sleep Country's super sale ends soon. Save up to $500 on beauty rest and Posturepedic sets. Get 24 months free financing plus a free bed frame with Tempur-Pedic or the Sleep Number bed.
Spring is here and Memorial Day is on the way, so get geared up for great outdoor living at Bi-Mart. Enjoy entertaining with a 6-piece sling patio set and a Charbroil gas grill. Save on Ames all-weather garden hoses and a Poulon self-propelled mower. Stock up on tomato and vegetable starts in the 4-inch pots. Right now, get 4 for just $5. Get bags of Bi-Mart brand outdoor planting mix or Filthy Rich bark mulch. They're 2 for just $7. Check for more savings in the membership bulletin. Sale prices end May 20th at Bi-Mart.
The Ashley Furniture Home Store pre-Memorial Day factory authorized sale is now through Monday. Factory authorized prices. This beautiful sofa and love seat are just $5.99, plus no interest till 2011. Come visit us in Tanasbourne, Clackamas, and Salem.
Closed captioning for the 10 o'clock news is brought to you by Comcast.
I know about being smart with my money. And I know about being the best. And we're being handcuffed together to show the two sides of Comcast's offer on digital cable with HBO.
The best entertainment on demand, whatever you want.
For just $29.99 a month, a price that you can lock in for 12 months.
It's our best offer of the year. Comcast digital cable with on-demand and HBO for just $29.99 a month for 12 months. Call 1-800-COMCAST today.
We should do a movie, Shackenstein.
I like it.
In tonight's High School Spotlight, you'll meet a high school athlete who is fit, focused, and fast.
In fact, he's the fastest in the country. KPTV's Julie Grauert has more on 800-meter runner Elijah Greer.
Anyone challenging Elijah Greer in the 800-meter run better get used to this view. His time of 1 minute, 48.97 seconds is the fastest high school time in the nation so far this year. And the back of his head is all his competitors are likely to see.
It's one of a kind, it's unique, and it's something that you've accomplished that out of America, you're the only guy to do it.
The Lake Oswego High School senior is on track to take the national title for the second year in a row after winning last year with a time of 1 minute, 47.6 seconds.
When he took off with 200 meters to go, he put 10 meters on everybody so fast that people couldn't believe it. There was this hushness that went over the crowd, and then they started screaming because you don't normally do that.
By Bob Williams, a former All-American steeplechaser at University of Oregon, is Greer's coach.
He is the most outstanding runner I've ever coached for an 8 or 15.
Williams has trained elite athletes before, but says Greer is different.
And Elijah has this insouciance, if you can use that word, to take things in stride and say, well, let's try, we'll go after that one, and I'm not afraid. And that's one thing that sets him apart.
And even after almost 40 years of coaching, harnessing and nurturing Greer's natural talent and potential is a new experience.
We have to begin to think in terms of, now where can we go from here and still keep him happy, healthy, focused, and realistic.
Wherever Greer is going, you can expect him to be a step ahead of the competition.
Elijah, because of his speed, he is, people say he's the future of track and field in those events, 8 and 15.
For now, Greer is focused on the present.
I just want to take it one step at a time, and that's certainly been a kind of an attitude I brought to into my track workout.
Julie Grauert, the 10 o'clock news.
Well, the climbing weather up on Mount Hood in pretty good shape, but the problem is the conditions not in such good shape. With the warm and dry weather, there's very high avalanche danger on the mountain from all the new snow earlier this week at May Slide. So watch out. It is a good climbing weekend, but you got to be off the mountain early in the morning. The forecast for folks down here in the lowlands coming up in just a minute.
Also still ahead tonight, death threats against a school. See how police say they caught him just as he created his hit list.
A local woman wants her airline ticket refunded after a sudden family tragedy. We'll see how Fox 12 stepped in to help her get her money back.
It's a whole new day for the iPod, how the world's favorite MP3 player is getting another makeover.
And just a reminder, your chance to win a $100 prepaid MasterCard just minutes away. We're going to bring you the secret code word you need when the 10 o'clock news continues.
You're watching the 10 o'clock news. First, live, local.
Looking for a great local job? Here are a few Northwest jobs from Fox 12 Oregon, powered by JobDango.com. In Portland, Reed College is hiring a community safety officer. In Hillsboro, Dix McKenzie Ford is hiring service technician. And in Beaverton, Baker Rock Resources is hiring a payroll HR administrator. For details on these local jobs and thousands more, or to advertise your jobs, go to KPTV.com and click on Northwest Jobs at the left side of our homepage.
Looking for power equipment that is easy to operate, dependable, and powerful? Then look to Stihl. The dependable Stihl FS45 trimmer is just $149.95. The easy-to-operate Stihl BG55 handheld blower is just $149.95. And the proven Stihl MS170 chainsaw is just $179.95. Affordable and reliable Stihl power equipment is only available at your servicing Stihl dealer. Log on to StihlDealers.com and find one today.
Every woman should hear Jody's story. Jody was always healthy.
Her pap was always normal. Still, I recommended she also get the HPV test. Her pap looked fine. The HPV test showed
She had the virus that could cause cervical cancer.
most HPV infections don't cause problems, but another exam confirmed she had cervical disease.
But Jody's story has a happy ending.
We caught it before it became cancer. So if you're 30 or over, make sure you get the HPV test along with your pap.
The Digene HPV test from QIAGEN. Take the test, not the risk.
A local school band needs your help. What they plan to give you in return. That's coming up on the 10 o'clock news. First, live look.
Ah, that's the new Fiber One cereal. Frosted shredded wheat.
Yeah, but I'm throwing it away.
Why? You seem to really like it.
I do. My wife wants me to. She says there can't be any fiber in it.
It's got a third of a day's worth of fiber.
It tastes way too good to have fiber.
10 crunchy little layers frosted to perfection.
I eat what I want. She's here, isn't she?
She is.
Hey.
New Fiber One frosted shredded wheat. Cardboard, no. Delicious, yes.
Standard TV and appliance mega sale.
Save 12 to 61% on thousands of appliances, HD TVs, and mattresses from the best brands.
Save $270 on select KitchenAid dishwashers.
Save $680 on Maytag front-load laundry pairs.
And through Saturday only, get a Samsung 42-inch HD TV for just $699.
Hurry in. Mega sale prices end soon. See us online at StandardTVandAppliance.com.
know this, Portland is considered by some to be a destination for urban, creative kinds of people.
One day, some of them might discover a cure for cancer or even climate change.
In the meantime, KPTV's Jim Hyde found a man who's concocted something that's pretty worthwhile: beer chips.
Yep, here's his latest installment about what keeps Portland weird.
The inventor of beer chips says he began with some basic research in the kitchen of his Pearl District apartment, using some plain old chips, a cookie sheet, and his oven.
I was sitting there drinking a beer, and I said, I bet I can think of a flavor. And I said, beer flavored chips, beer chips, beerchips.com.
Looking back to the day he was watching a TV show about making potato chips, Brett Stern realized that registering the name and website was the easy part. He had nothing to put in a beer chip bag that tasted good, let alone like beer.
Sprayed the concoction on the top of the chips, and I put them back in the oven to dry them out.
Stern later moved to this Northwest Portland workspace and improved a process for flavoring chips. Heating the moisture out of beer leaves a kind of hoppy powder.
We mixed the beer powder with sugar, salt, and honey and sprinkled that on top of the chips when they come out of the kettle.
He may tell you a tale about the juice of the beer tree. He won't tell you what kind of beer he uses, nor the site of the factory that now fills cases and truckloads of chips. But first, the eclectic fellow with a taste for marketing and malt beverages needed broader support. 50,000 people attend the Oregon Brewers Festival every summer. Stern set up a booth.
I had sold most of my first production and knew that people liked beer chips.
He began tapping into the ethos of craft brewers that percolates through other avenues of endeavor here in Portland.
I came here to do green inventing, and I like to support local community. And because Portland is such a support local community, Buy Local was very much supported, and it was pretty easy to get into stores.
But would shoppers respond? Some samplers at the Whole Foods in the Pearl did.
They're really good, yeah. I wouldn't mind, a pint of a nice amber with it, but yeah, I'm enjoying it.
So does it taste like beer at all?
No.
Does it taste good, though?
It tastes great. I love them, actually.
Although business may have slipped in the Silicon Forest, people in Portland can still support their local chip maker. People buy more snacks and beers during a recession. See, that's where you need smell-o-vision TV.
And imagine there was a beer in your other hand.
Stern says he put the product in some regional chains around the country and exports beer chips to Singapore, London, Philippines, and to Japan. Brett Stern is busy trying to place more of his chips in stores everywhere. That is, everywhere people have developed a taste for beer and chips, both from one bag. I'm Jim Hyde, looking for people who keep Portland weird.
Well, I'm Kevin Kawari, and here's what's coming up new tonight on the 11 o'clock news. A much-loved pastor says no to border agents, and they don't like that answer, so they tase him. Now, the violent struggle caught on camera. See how this preacher says he intends to fight back. Plus, fire in a bank safe, and this was no accident. Why cops say the suspect set the fire, but then called 911 to report it. And this picture gives new meaning to the term overexposed, the shocking shot that made it into the final print of one school's yearbook, why the student's mom is fuming over what the school isn't doing about it. That and much more coming up at the top of the hour on the 11 o'clock news.
Well, tonight some local kids need your help to make it to the Junior Rose Parade. This is the marching band at Whitford Middle School in Beaverton, and tomorrow morning they will be holding a rummage sale to raise money to pay for bus service to the parade. Organizers say they have everything from clothes, books, games, furniture, even a piano.
Very reasonably priced. And maybe bargaining is an option, I'm not sure. But we want to sell everything that we've got.
Yeah, the Whitford Band competed at its first parade last weekend, and they took home first place for middle school bands at the St. John's Parade. Congratulations to them. Tomorrow's rummage sale is at Whitford Middle School from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Okay, a couple of members of the Fox 12 family headed down to Jervis this afternoon to represent Fox 12 in the Media Big Shot Shotgun Challenge.
There it is! Nice!
Yes! Sophie Sung, of course, and Brett Weisberg. They represented Fox 12 against other TV and radio stations in town. Their goal was to shoot as many targets as possible. No word on who won, but as you saw, they each did hit at least one target. The challenge benefited the Boy Scouts of America.
Happy. That was funny.
I love that reaction because she actually shot something. She was so excited.
And she's going to have this big bruise on her shoulder tomorrow morning from the shotgun up against there. So good times. Yeah, sunny days. You noticed down there. Everywhere in the Northwest was sunny today. Even the coastline was beautiful.
Nice.
And we have 2 more days. I'm sorry, maybe 3 more days of that coming up.
How about 4?
Yeah, maybe. We can bargain later after the show. Let's take a look outside right now. We have clear skies from our skyline camera. A little bit of a breeze blowing. Of course, when you see those lines in the distance, you know you're looking out towards the east side of Portland, which has a little straighter streets than the west side of town. Okay, now take a look at the warming nights here. You know, if you're a gardener, one of the important things is not only the daytime temperatures, but you want things to warm up at night. Helps the soil warm up quite a bit. Tonight will be 48 degrees. Last night we were in the mid-40s here in town. Tomorrow night, 53, and I think by Sunday night we'll be in the upper 50s, which really helps things get going. If I feel really crazy by Sunday or Monday, maybe I'll try planting some of the warmer things like cucumbers. We'll see if they make it. Of course, I'm kind of frugal. Maybe I don't want to buy another package of seeds if they rot in 2 weeks if it starts raining again. So we'll see. But either way, good news. Things are progressing along here, and you can plant some of those warmer weather things hopefully very soon. 72 in Portland today. That was the high. 70 in Salem. And I think we will add about 10 degrees to these temperatures for tomorrow. Now, we're still running at 61 degrees here in Portland, always the warmer spot because of the urban area. But outlying areas farther to the north and south, mostly in the 50s. But I notice even east side, everybody in the 40s and 50s. We'll be 48 in Portland tonight, about 35 in Burns and 33 in Baker City. And not much to talk about on the satellite picture. You see this classic curve beginning to set up here in the clouds offshore. Lots of rain up to the north and western British Columbia. But we have high pressure developing right over the top of us. And that's going to continue to build over the next couple of days. In the upper atmosphere, big ridge of high pressure, that's much warmer air moving up from the southwest. And notice it's kind of right over us over the weekend, and it's still there on Monday as well. That's a little bit of a change from about 2 days ago when we were thinking the cool air would be pushing in by Monday, but we think it's going to stick around through Monday, at least maybe into Tuesday. That would be the bargaining for Tuesday we were referring to with Wayne. 86 degrees at the Dalles for tomorrow, 83 at Madras, 79 at Pendleton. Basically just a sunny weekend all across the Pacific Northwest. When we say sunny, I should point out maybe a few high clouds, but that would be it. Kind of like what we saw today. Check out the warm mountain temperatures, 60 at Timberline, 67 at Government Camp, and 78 coming up at Welch's down in the valley tomorrow. And then speaking of the valley, we'll go all the way into the valley here. And here in the Willamette Valley, I think we'll see temperatures getting up into the lower 80s tomorrow. That's way above average for this time of the year. And even the coastline with the sunshine, mid to upper 60s, maybe touching 70 degrees. West side of the metro area, 82 at Forest Grove coming up for tomorrow, 81 at Beaverton, 82 at Tualatin. Just a light northerly breeze in the afternoon. And I should point out, this is not a situation like we had last year when we had that hot east wind blowing out of the gorge, temperatures pushed up into the low to mid 90s. We're just having a north wind this time around, and that kind of moderates the temperature quite a bit. I've got more on that on the weather blog this evening as well. Tomorrow here in the city, we start a little cool, 48 degrees, but it'll be one of those days where the temperature takes a big jump early in the day. I think we'll be in the mid-60s by noon, and we should top out at 82. We'll keep Sunday at 82 as well. We think we may notch up a degree or two or so on Monday, so 3 solid days of real July temperatures there. And then Tuesday, a push of ocean air. Some of our models say a big push, which would keep us in the 60s on Tuesday. Others say, nah, just a weak push, and we stay in the 70s or near 80. Either way, much cooler coming up on Wednesday, but still a pretty mild pattern, and we only see a chance for showers maybe coming up on Wednesday.
The good and the bad of technology in tonight's Final Cut with stories like the death threats that got one teen arrested. He didn't make them in person, it's what cops say he wrote on the web that started all the trouble. Say cheese, cameras could be coming to an iPod or iTouch near you. And wait until you hear what Apple may be planning to add to the iPhone. And Fox 12 used some technology to help a local mom in need who was getting nowhere with the airlines. See how a couple of emails may have made all the difference. The Final Cut is next.
You're watching the 10 o'clock news. First, live, local.
Why do so many people who drive a Honda Accord buy another one? Well, when you have a reputation for quality and reliability, a proven track record for low cost of ownership, and been recognized as the longest lasting car in its class, is it any wonder the Accord has the highest owner loyalty? Yeah, we came up with the same answer. Go to Edmunds.com for an independent report on the true cost to own an Accord. And then see your Honda dealer for great leases and low financing.
My Coppertone Derma photo showed me something important, signs of hidden sun damage. Now, I use new Coppertone NutriShield sunscreen with dual defense to protect and help promote natural skin repair. And there's more. In 2 months, Coppertone NutriShield helps reduce signs of hidden sun damage. Only NutriShield has dual defense. 1, I get powerful sun protection, and 2, antioxidants that promote natural skin repair. For more beautiful skin, Coppertone NutriShield with dual defense.
Excuse me, my daughter has a rash. Is there a drugstore nearby?
Do you mean pharmacy?
Sure, pharmacy, whatever.
I've got 1.2 million.
I just need one, actually, nearby and open on Sunday would be great.
I've got images, news groups. Would you like to see your exact location from outer space?
No, just a drugstore.
I know 3 in this neighborhood. 2 open Sundays, 1's a chain. They have coupons. Just saying.
The new Dexnose.com. Smarter than your average search. More exact, more detailed, a lot more local. Dexnose.com.
The stars of the next Twilight movie are coming back to Oregon. Who's playing a little vampire baseball? What's everything else you need to know next? Fox 12 Final Cut.
While everyone else is trying to imitate your Pacific Northwest Hyundai dealers, nobody can say what Hyundai can say. Only Hyundai can say if you lose your job, you can bring it back with the Hyundai Assurance. Only Hyundai can say you're covered with America's best warranty, 10-year, 100,000 miles. And only Hyundai really knows how to say sales event. Drive a Hyundai Sonata with more MPG and double the warranty of Camry. And right now, you'll get up to $3,500 in additional savings. Discover what only Hyundai can say. Visit your Pacific Northwest Hyundai dealers today.
Time's running out on your chance to save big and get 2 great services for the price of 1. Call now and get Comcast Digital Voice Local with More and blazing fast high-speed internet for just $42.95 a month for 12 months. That's 12 popular calling features and unlimited local calling, along with internet download speeds up to 15 megabits per second with Power Boost. It's like getting 2 great services for the price of 1 for an entire year. Hurry, call 1-800-COMCAST today.
Stand by the final cut in 3, 2, 1. Cue 'em.
18 in Tennessee is facing some serious charges after police say he threatened people's lives on a website. Police arrested the high school student for posting a message online about killing people at his former school. Police say he named students and staff and even asked readers to tell him who they'd like killed. Police say the suspect wrote that the school had pushed him over the edge. He could face 13 to 60 years in prison. That's if he's found guilty of felony terrorism charges. Every student dreams of walking at their graduation, but those dreams apparently won't come true for a Texas high school student. Demi Roden had a 4.0 throughout high school and participated in several extracurricular activities. However, last year she had to change schools because both her parents lost their jobs and the family just couldn't afford private school anymore. At the time, the school said that she could come back and walk with her classmates, but now apparently they're saying since her parents still owe the school money, she will have to sit in the stands.
It's very frustrating. They're persecuting her for something that's not her fault.
The high school says the family owes them $2,500. The principal says he's just following the rules.
The final cut heads to Ohio now, where a boy mauled by 3 dogs is at home recovering tonight. The boy says he was standing near his home on Tuesday when 3 big dogs attacked him. He has 200 stitches in his head and 90 more in his leg.
Well, the big one came on one side, and the 2 little ones came on the other. And I tried to run, and he bit my leg, and he pulled me back. And then I tried to get up and run again, and he bit my head.
With help from a friend, the boy fought off the dogs and ran for help. Police are still looking for the dog's owner. Well, it's not common at all, but this 10-year-old girl has been diagnosed with breast cancer. The California girl discovered a lump that she thought was part of her rib cage. Her doctors say she is the youngest case of breast cancer in the nation. She's had a mastectomy, but doctors say the cancer has now spread to her lymph nodes.
I told my mom, I just want to be a normal kid. I want to go back to school, play sports, hang out with my friends. So I started crying, and
Well, a tattoo shop in California is hosting a fundraiser for the girl's family tomorrow. The girl says she looks forward to beating the cancer and living a normal life someday.
Well, police didn't think a prank call was very funny at all. A man had called 911 to report a 150-pound black panther lurking around a piece of drain pipe. At least a dozen officers raced to the park. They even used a taser, only it wasn't a panther. It turned out to be a large stuffed toy cat. Local media reports say it was put there as a prank. Authorities say if they find out who placed that fake call, that man could be in big trouble. Now to news around the world tonight. Investigators are trying to figure out what caused a plane to crash right into a house. It happened in Guatemala today. That crash killed 6 people, including 4 people on board the plane. There is no word on a cause as of yet. One of the child actors in the Oscar-winning film Slumdog Millionaire rebuilt his family's illegal shanty just a day after crews had destroyed it. India's government knocked down dozens of shanties around Mumbai yesterday. He and his family say that they were sleeping when bulldozers moved in. Despite the huge success of the movie, not much has improved for the film star. The shanties are illegally built on land which the government wants to turn into a public garden.
iPods topped tonight's Consumer Watch. A magazine called Hard Mac says Apple's going to refresh its iPod Touch and iPod Nano players in September. It claims the new iPods will feature cameras like the iPhone. And, not to be left out, the next generation of iPhones are set to include video recorders as one of their big new features. Apple has not confirmed the rumors. Nintendo's banking on a new device to take its Wii video game console to another level. The video game giant is releasing a controller add-on called Wii Motion Plus. It plugs into existing controllers, and it's designed to mimic exact hand movements for more realistic controls. Sports games like golf and tennis figure to see the biggest improvements. Wii Motion Plus will be available beginning June 8th. Not every new technology or gadget changes the world. In fact, a lot of them fall completely flat. Time magazine released a list of the top 10 tech failures of the last decade. Microsoft makes the list twice. Its Windows Vista software failed to impress many PC users. And is it Zuni? I don't even remember how to say it. Zune MP3. Wayne said that shows what a failure it was. But anyway, the Zune MP3 player also couldn't top the iPod. The HD DVD format also made the list for losing out to Blu-ray as the high-def standard. Sirius XM satellite radio was recognized for losing tons of money. Same goes for the wacky Segway scooter, which never really caught on. For the complete list, just check out KPTV.com.
Well, the Follow-Kit goes local now as Fox 12 helps a local woman get more than $400 back from a major airline. Now, she bought the ticket for her teenage son, but after a sudden family death, she tried to get it refunded, but had no luck. KPTV's Carrie Tomlinson joins us live to explain how she was able to get her money back. Carrie?
Indeed, yes. Her name is Anna Susi. She's a single mother, and her teenage son lived in Texas with her ex-husband. But her ex-husband died suddenly and unexpectedly, and that meant her son had to move up here right away instead of waiting to visit in the summer.
The ticket was purchased 4 months in advance, and 2 days afterwards he dies, so they had plenty of time that they can make that money off of somebody else. And it was
bought that ticket in March for about $450, and the flight was supposed to be later in July. But just days after she bought the ticket, she found out her ex-husband was dead from flesh-eating bacteria. So her son needed to get to Portland now, and that ticket in his name then for the summer was no good. So Anna called U.S. Airways to see if they could do something about the problem. Well, she says they told her she would have to pay a big fee, $150, in order to get her money back. She called Fox 12 for answers, so we in turn asked U.S. Airways to email us a statement about their refund policy. Instead, they told us they are simply going to refund Anna's money.
And I hope that if this has happened to anyone else, I hope that, you know, maybe some results will come to them, and maybe the airlines will think twice with their policy and maybe change their policy a little bit.
Well, maybe and maybe not. U.S. Airways says in most instances it does not give out refunds for non-refundable tickets like the one Anna bought. However, in her case, it did work out. Reporting live, Carrie Tomlinson, the 10 o'clock news.
Hollywood is buzzing tonight about something that's going to take place right here in Portland this summer. Some of the cast and crew from the movie Twilight and New Moon, well, they're going to go to bat at PGE Park on the 4th of July. This is huge news for Twilight fans. Rochelle Lefevre and Peter Fasinelli are some of the actors expected to participate in the game this summer. And proceeds from the ticket sales will be donated to the Make-A-Wish Foundation.
Well, now in the final cut, it's your chance to win a $100 prepaid MasterCard. Ready for tonight's secret code word? There it is, 100. I guess it's actually code words tonight. Take that, enter it into your account on pdxrewards.com, and then once you have typed in that secret code, you're going to be eligible to possibly win that $100 prepaid MasterCard. So we wish you nothing but luck. Again, the code word is 100. And that is tonight's final cut.
Well, it might seem over, but the nationwide flu scare could be making a comeback while health leaders are bracing for another outbreak.
And don't forget, when you're away from the TV, you can get caught up on your local news online at kptv.com, because every newscast every day, streaming live right there on our website.
You're watching the 10 o'clock news. First, live, local.
Tuesday, we're celebrating PDX Rewards Day. It's a way for Fox 12 to help stretch your dollar further during these tough times. Watch Fox 12 all day Tuesday for details on how you can get involved, earn double points, and even get some great deals to local shops and restaurants. PDXrewards.com, the website that pays Portland back.
Okay, say so big. So big. Why am I standing in a baby crib? Because my parents are trying to recreate my baby pictures. They were on my dad's laptop, which he accidentally dropped into our fish tank. My mom cried until we started doing this. Let's take a picture with the ducky.
Don't trust your computer. Now all Quest high-speed internet customers get free automatic online backup. Quest high-speed internet from $14.99 a month.
Always the highest quality. Always the freshest ingredients. Always the best value. Voted best pizza chain in America 6 years running. Some things will never change. That's why at Papa Murphy's, you can get a large Taco Grande pizza made fresh with the highest quality ingredients for only $10.99. Handmade fresh, home-baked great. That's Papa Murphy's.
Caught on camera, an oil tank explodes. The risks the cameraman took to get this video. Coming up on the 11 o'clock news. First, live, local.
The Ashley Furniture Home Store pre-Memorial Day factory authorized sale is now through Monday. Factory authorized prices. This beautiful sofa and love seat are just $5.99, plus no interest till 2011. Come visit us in Tanasbourne, Clackamas, and Salem.
Get ready, Portland. The largest gun and knife show in Oregon is coming to Expo Center this weekend. Thousands of the world's finest guns and knives ready for you to buy, sell, or trade. The best brands at great low prices. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at the Expo Center. Be there.
After more than 50 years, Joe Sports Outdoor and More is going out of business.
And we're down to the final weeks.
Everything must go, so prices have just been slashed again.
Now save 40 to 60% off store-wide.
Save 40 to 60% off all fishing, hunting, and camping equipment.
And 40 to 60% off all apparel, footwear, and athletic gear.
And save 40% off all Baja ATVs and motorized vehicles.
These are the last weeks to save 40 to 60% off everything.
Only at Joe Sports Going Out of Business Blowout Event.
You know, Banner Bank is connected to quite a few people, like Eloisa Sanchez. She's a Banner Bank customer. And contractor Tom Masterson. He's been working with Banner Bank for about 20 years. Dave Marshbank builds roads for a living, and Chip Davidson crunches numbers. They both swear by Banner Bank. So does Todd Banks of Kenmore Air. When you think about it, it's amazing how many people we've been connected to over the years. But even more amazing is the number of years we've been connected to so many people.
Fox 12 is pleased to offer your favorite Fox network programs in high definition. Experience a new dimension in television on Fox 12 Oregon and Comcast Channel 712.
In the war on terror tonight, President Obama is revising Bush-era practices for dealing with suspected terrorists. The president says new military tribunals at Guantanamo will be a legitimate forum for prosecuting alleged terrorists. But not everyone's on board. The ACLU says every Guantanamo detainee should be tried in regular federal court. There are 13 prisoners already in the tribunal system, including 5 charged with putting together the 9/11 attacks. Nancy Pelosi's claim that she was misled in 2002 about the use of waterboarding is drawing heated criticism. The head of the CIA disputes the House Speaker's statements. The CIA director says the agency does not break the law by trying to mislead the government. Some Republicans are taking an even firmer stance, calling Pelosi's accusations incorrect and irresponsible.
The H1N1 flu outbreak isn't over yet because it's now being blamed for another death here in the U.S. Authorities say the Texas man who died from the flu also, though, had some pre-existing conditions, including heart problems. The flu virus is also to blame for some schools in New York being closed all week. One school in Queens had 50 students out sick with the flu. Disease control workers are currently making a vaccine that should be ready within a few weeks.
I'm Kevin Kawari, and here's what's coming up next on the 11 o'clock news. Local cops have a new way of issuing crime alerts to people that need to know. We'll tell you how they're getting the word out minutes after they notice problems that could impact the public. Also new at 11, it is some of the most shocking video you'll see all night, how this guy survived a hit and run caught on camera. But first, a live look outside here over to Pioneer Courthouse Square. The 11 o'clock news is less than 3 minutes away.
You're watching the 10 o'clock news. First, live, local.
This news segment is brought to you in part by First American Consulting.
Thousands of Oregonians will lose their homes to foreclosure this year, but there is hope. First American Consulting Group is a locally owned company of top industry professionals assisting homeowners in renegotiating their mortgage throughout the Portland metropolitan area. If you're currently employed, struggling to make mortgage payments, or behind on those payments, and you want to keep your home, First American Consulting Group would like to hear from you. Call us today at 503-928-8889 for a free, no-obligation consultation.
The Furniture Connection is slashing prices. 30, 50, up to 70% off. 6-piece Mission Oak bedroom. 4-piece microfiber sectional. Roy Hill Attic Heirlooms Queen Bed. We're offering free financing for 1 full year. 4-piece leather sectional. Reclining sofa. Contemporary sofa. Mention this ad for free delivery through Monday only. The Furniture Connection now at the Lloyd Center Mall and in Gresham at Northeast 181st and I-84.
Southwest Washington Medical Center is one of 3 trauma centers serving Southwest Washington and Portland.
Southwest has been taking care of trauma and other critically ill patients for the last 20 years.
While the most common traumas are head injuries, all trauma cases need immediate treatment.
Our mission is to bring the greatest medical care as quickly as possible and to continue that care throughout the entire hospitalization and after discharge.
Southwest Washington Medical Center, pioneering medicine.
Fox 12 puts pet toys to the test and talks with local experts about the potential dangers.
Animals can die from lead poisoning.
There's safer alternatives. Monday on the 10 o'clock news.
We want your truck. We need your truck. Car Chevy World needs used trucks, any make, any model, and we'll pay top dollar for your truck. Or you can trade it in on one of over 150 Chevy trucks in stock, like $12,995 for a loaded Chevy Silverado. That's right, only $12,995 for the longest-lasting, best-built truck on the road.
Only the Northwest's largest Chevy dealer can pay top dollar for your truck. So come to Car Chevy World in Beaverton, where salaried salespeople see it your way.
Change how you live. Visit the grand opening of the Villebois Village Center in Wilsonville the weekend of May 16th and 17th from 11 to 6 and be the first in Portland to try the new Starbucks Via Ready Brew. Try this exclusive new instant coffee before anyone else when you tour the brand new homes in the Villebois community during our grand opening. The first 50 guests will receive a free Starbucks gift card. Visit changehowyoulive.com for driving directions and other details about the newest homes in the Villebois Village Center.
Have a craving for calzones? Then get down to Old Chicago, official home of the calzone. Feeling creative? Build your own from our lineup of 40 fresh toppings. Or, now for a limited time, try one of our new calzone creations, like the Chicken Club, packed with oven-roasted chicken, smoked bacon, spinach, and more. And don't miss the Sicilian Trio, loaded with fresh Italian flavor. For delicious calzones you won't find anywhere else. Old Chicago. Eat, drink, be yourself.
Now on Fox 12 Oregon, this is the 11 o'clock news.
New at 11 tonight, a father of 5 versus the Border Patrol. Why agents started tasing the man, leaving him covered from head to toe in stitches and bandages. Also tonight, just when firefighters thought they were starting to get the upper hand on a fire, it gets even bigger. See the explosion no one expected. A playground turns into a war zone as parents watch rival gang members open fire all around their kids. See it caught on camera when we take you to the edge. I'm Kevin Kawari. And now here's a look at Fox 12's top stories. We begin tonight with KPTV's Brent Weisberg. He's live with what's new at 11. Brent?
Tonight, Portland police officers are using the website Twitter to pass along an important crime alert. Officers working in Southwest Portland say they're noticing an alarming trend, more car break-ins. In some parts of Southwest, including the Ash Creek neighborhood, break-ins have been skyrocketing from this time last year. Investigators say the bad guys are smashing out windows and stealing laptops, iPods, and GPS units. Police say the thieves are targeting baseball fields as people take their kids to Little League games. Now the department is using the website Twitter as a way to communicate with neighbors.
We're using Twitter as a new way to get out to the community real-time info on current crime trends so that folks can react quickly. People come to Southwest Portland from all over the place to break into cars. Some of them live out there, some of them live in other parts of town, but they come to Southwest Portland and will break into cars.
Police say they're stepping up their patrols in the areas affected. They say they've already caught one teen in the act of breaking into a car. Police say this is worth another reminder to never leave any valuables in your car. Now we have a link to the Bureau's Twitter page on our website. Just go to kptv.com. For now, reporting live tonight in News Control, Brent Weisberg, the 11 o'clock news.
A deadly car accident in Troutdale takes the life of a local girl while another is in critical condition at the hospital. Multnomah County Sheriff's deputies say the two teens were driving on Stark Street near Curse Lake Road just after noon today when the driver lost control of her truck and went over an embankment. We know the name of the driver, but out of respect for her family, we are not releasing her name tonight. Friends of the 16-year-old driver, who was a cheerleader at Reynolds High School, say she was also a student at the Natural Resources Academy near Corbett, which is an extension of Reynolds High School. They say she had left campus to get lunch and was heading back to school when the accident happened. Sheriff's deputies say both the driver and the passenger were wearing seatbelts. Tonight, they're investigating the accident, saying it's a common area for some major accidents. Reporting in North Portland tonight, Sophie Sung, the 11 o'clock news.
A Salem shop is hit by thieves this week, and the owner says the same thieves came back today to try it all over again. The owner of Meringue Boutique says it was her worker who had a gut feeling something wasn't right as she helped two customers Tuesday. As soon as the two women left, they reviewed the surveillance tapes and noticed the shoplifting. She says one of the women would distract the worker while the other stuffed her bag with clothes. Today, the owner says one of the women came back to try it again. This time, she says they called police. Now, police confirmed they did arrest one woman. They are still searching for a second one. They did find some evidence in one of the women's cars that they believe is stolen merchandise from other stores. The investigation continues. If you have any information, you should call Salem Police. Reporting from Salem tonight, Andrew Padula, the 11 o'clock news.
To our top national stories now. General Motors told 1,100 dealers today that their franchises will soon be eliminated. They'll be gone sometime next year. GM's action today comes just a day after crosstown rival Chrysler announced it will drop 789 of its roughly 3,200 dealerships. Both companies say they have too many dealerships for too few sales, and they're slashing costs as they restructure. Well, do you remember this accident caught on camera in Connecticut? It caused a national debate about morality after a car hit a man and witnesses ignored the victim. Today, police arrested the 33-year-old driver of the car on charges of first-degree manslaughter. The May 2008 accident left the 79-year-old victim paralyzed and mute. He died Monday, and his funeral was today, the same day police arrested that driver. The family of a Connecticut woman attacked by a 200-pound chimpanzee in February is now talking about the experience. Victim Charlotte Nash is still in critical condition tonight after that attack robbed her of her hands, eyes, scalp, and most of her face. Tonight, the victim's 17-year-old daughter says her mom tried to steer clear of the chimp whenever she visited the animal's owner.
She was afraid of him, of the strength he had. It wasn't a natural strength. He could push a cinder block like it was a feather.
Brianna is living with relatives while her mom is treated. The family is suing the chimp's owner for $50 million. Charlotte Nash still likely faces another 2 years of surgeries. In news from around the world tonight, a building explodes in Turkey, trapping people inside. Government officials say an explosion started at the entrance of the 3-story apartment building and triggered a fire. More than 30 people got hurt, many of them from breathing in so much smoke. Firefighters say flammable chemicals most likely caused the explosion. One of the child actors in the Oscar-winning film Slumdog Millionaire rebuilt his family's illegal shanty just a day after crews destroyed it. India's government knocked down dozens of shanties around Mumbai yesterday. He and his family say they were sleeping when bulldozers moved in. Despite the huge success of the movie, not much has improved for the film's star. The shanties are illegally built on the land which the government wants to turn into a public garden. In news across the Northwest tonight, a handful of high schoolers are expelled from school tonight after starting a food fight in the school cafeteria. Kids at Mill Creek High, north of Seattle, got word of the fight via text message and ignored warnings not to go through with it. Tonight, 14 students face expulsion, and prom has been suspended for the whole student body.
Now, Portland's first complete forecast at 11 from your first live local weather team.
Well, it turned out to be a very nice day. Temperatures in the low 70s this afternoon, very comfortable. High pressure continuing to build over the northwest, and that's going to set us up for a very warm weekend. And it also appears now like it's going to be a very dry week. Kate, we've taken the rain completely out of the 7-day forecast. Here's a look live right now from the way things look from our river camera down there near Omsey, looking across the river towards the south waterfront and the base of the tram there headed up to OHSU. It is a completely clear night, and it's a relatively calm night as well. Take a look at the temperatures we have as of the 11 o'clock hour. It's 59 at Portland, but surrounding areas now down into the low 50s, so somewhat comfortable outside. And tomorrow morning will be off to a somewhat chilly start, and it'll be the last somewhat cool morning for several days, as with the warming afternoon temperatures, the nighttime temperatures are going to warm up over the next few days as well. Right now, Kelso's at 54, Salem's at 52, coastal temperatures down in the 40s, and east side most spots now into the 40s, with LeGrand and the Dalles being exceptions. So as I mentioned, overnight tonight, relatively cool, temperatures down into the low to mid 40s, many spots west side. Portland Airport may not dip much below 48 though. And east of the Cascades, most everywhere it'll stay just above freezing overnight tonight. LeGrand and the Dalles though staying in the 40s for lows. So that's how we start off tomorrow morning, and we'll be clear from the get-go tomorrow. All day long, sunshine abound, low levels of humidity. It's going to be just a delightful Saturday. And you can kind of see the edge of the clouds right here. Well, this is very dry air and high pressure. And as that continues to build and strengthen, our temperatures are going to keep rising. So we're going to be warm and dry through tomorrow, through Sunday. And now it appears into Monday as well. In fact, Monday now looks to be the warmest day of the next few. So get ready for lots of sunshine and very warm conditions. We're into climbing season up in the Cascades, and with a warm and dry weekend, this is an excellent setup for climbing weather-wise in our Cascade Peaks. However, because there was a significant amount of snow early in the week, there's actually a high avalanche danger with that new snow. So this may actually not be the most ideal climbing weekend, just because the snow could slide relatively easily. As we get later into the spring season here, the climbing conditions will improve because the chances of new snow get less. Along the coast tomorrow, though, back down here closer to sea level, we'll see sunshine and just a little bit of a breeze. Temperatures 65 to 70 right there along the beaches. North winds 10 to 20. Farther inland, Willamette Valley temperatures into the low 80s, up north into southwest Washington, Kelso and Longview, right about 80 degrees. Very, very nice day tomorrow. Not much wind either, just a gentle breeze. Up on Mount Hood, Government Camp's temperature to 67, Welch's to 78. That freezing level, very summer-like, 14,000 feet. East of the Cascades, Bend, LeGrand, Burns in the upper 70s to near 80 tomorrow. The Dalles there right along the river into the mid-80s. In the Portland area, a sunny day and warmer than today by about 10 degrees, 48 in the morning, but we jump all the way into the mid-60s by noon. So a rapid rise in the temperature after sunrise tomorrow, 82, the top temperature, and we'll repeat that again on Sunday. Could be a few passing high clouds, but otherwise sunny. Monday, warmer yet at 85, dipping back into the upper 70s Tuesday, and then Wednesday and Thursday, cooler yet, but dry now, it seems at this point. A nice 7-day forecast coming up. You can check out the latest forecast on Good Day Oregon Saturday, starting at 6 a.m. tomorrow morning.
The 11 o'clock news is taking you to the edge.
Everything in the Edge tonight is caught on camera, from the oil tank that got struck by lightning to a shootout in broad daylight next to a playground full of kids. And how about the well-known pastor tased when he refused to be searched? Plus, you won't believe what was inside one school's yearbook that has a girl feeling overexposed.
It's ridiculously embarrassing.
It's all next in the Edge.
You're watching the 11 o'clock news. First, live, locally. Saturday, when getting arrested.
We're being handcuffed together to show the two sides of Comcast's offer on digital cable with HBO.
The best entertainment on demand, whatever you want.
For just $29.99 a month, a price that you can lock in for 12 months.
It's our best offer of the year. Comcast Digital Cable with on-demand and HBO for just $29.99 a month for 12 months. Call 1-800-COMCAST today.
We should do a movie, Shackenstein.
I like it.
Feel anything?
Ouch. Yeah. Why is it so big?
But couldn't get one that matched?
It's what our insurance approved.
Well, there was no other choice.
It's the law. You choose who repairs your vehicle, not the insurance company. We restore your vehicle to pre-loss condition with factory quality parts. At Leif's, I'm on your side.
Is ugly green moss and mold spoiling the look of your home? Clean it all the easy way with 30 Seconds Outdoor Cleaner. Use it on siding, use it on decks. 30 Seconds Outdoor Cleaner is made in the Northwest for Northwest homes just like yours.